Hello, hello. I'm back. So, I did have every intention of streaming yesterday, but I think even I was shocked by how white I was after the events of Thursday. Very, very long day Thursday. So I ended up sleeping in too late Friday, and honestly, even today, I was still feeling it a bit plumb out. But here are my plans for this stream. I am going to be getting through the magic ranged DPS quests. I have zero intention of doing anything beyond that. Unless if I have no problems with my connection and I still feel like it and I still have time, I would like to get the Yaqui Society quests that I unlocked today taken out. Because after that, the Yaqui will be on the same progression step as everyone else, which will mean that the next time that I have the Yaqui filled up, I can progress them all to the same point, which I think is the second to last. Because Sworn then goes to Blood Sworn, then you fill it one more time. But again, I'm not fighting with my ISP today. I don't feel like it. Honestly, the way that my connection has been behaving really makes me worried about streaming Evercold launch and how exactly I'm going to manage that. I have seriously thought about getting my hands on a handful of several terabit external hard drives, just so that I can record the stream at the same time I'm streaming, just in case, right, as a fail-safe. And then I just accept the fact that my computer will have to run non-stop for several days at a time while I slowly, gradually, over many days, upload my 9-hour VODs. Memory serves, and I could pull up the playlist. I'm pretty sure my Dawntrail ones, my longest one was 9 hours, but that was because I blitzed through my 2-hour break window because I was so close to the end and I just wanted to fucking go, you know? Anyway, I don't really have very much further ado. I intend to do this as Black Mage, but much as with half of them so far, if I'm like through the first quest and I feel that, I don't know, Red Mage, I guess, is the only other option, it sure as fuck ain't gonna be Summoner or Pictomancer. I'll talk about that. So, but I, given the way it's described, I'll be a little surprised if Black Mage doesn't fit the bill. Or arguably Summoner, but I don't want to play Summoner. I'm not the biggest Summoner fan. Ooh, I got new ring for them. Might as well. There's a Pictomancer shield boxes. Oh, they're extra fun. Not neat. I just didn't update my casting shit. Anyway. Oh, hello. Did Baruch give you send you to help recover our stolen treasure? My glasses, my fault, yeah. Thank the heavens, and judging by your accoutrements, you're learned in the arcane arts, yes? If so, we've need of your power and wisdom. Truth be told, it is wisdom that we require most. You see, even though the treasure has been guarded by our people for generations, we know little of its true nature. In ages past, the forests of our homeland were plagued with terrible beasts, a constant source of fear and danger. To combat this menace, our mages spent many moons researching the treasure known as the Perch of the Apex. Upon unlocking its secrets, they were able to drive the monsters from the woods, bringing peace at last. With the threat all but eradicated, our forebears forbade any further use of the treasure, and enshrined it within the village. As the years passed, we slowly forgot what it was to live in fear. Yet as our struggles faded into memory, stories surrounding the perch of the apex became legend, then myth. Now none living are certain of its true power. Yet the peace was shattered by a member of the Passage of the Unbound. The villain wheeled his way into our trust, then stole upon my husband, the treasure-appointed guardian, catching him unaware with a terrible blow that left him unconscious. He has yet to awaken, so my daughter, Tepike, is set forth to retrieve what was stolen. Unlike her father, she has no skill in the arcane arts, and chose the path of the sword. That's why I've been seeking someone with the knowledge she lacks. Should the ancient power be unleashed, please, if you can find it in your heart to help Tepike, I would be forever grateful. If there's a mystic artifact involved, count me in. Yeah, this does feel very Black Mage coded. Oh, thank you, thank you. Now, our only clue to the thief's whereabouts is from something he mentioned during his stay in our village. He spoke of his desire to bring change to a place called Razdathan. That is where Tepike decided to begin her search, so she boarded a ferry bound there by way of Limsa with her trusted sword and shield close at hand. That's how you'll know her. She agreed to stay in Razdathan to gather information until aid arrived. I know nothing of the place, but it's likely she can be found in a marketplace or some such. Please bring our treasure and my daughter safely home. Tepike said she would spend time getting the lay of Razdathan and speaking with its people. You will know her by the distinctive sword and shield she carries. Oof, ouch, my gill pouch. How will I recover from this? I guess it's distinctive. Sure. It's definitely distinctive for the region she's in. Yeah, no argue. No argue. Oh, are you looking for me? Whatsoever for? Arentel, did you say my mother sent you? I take it she's already explained the details, such as how we know next to nothing of the treasure and its capabilities. We have only the legends passed down through our forebears to go on. They speak of a Terral of an owl that once terrorized the forest, whose soul is sealed within the perch of the apex. The tales have only become more vague as the mists of time obscure the treasure's origin. Even our village's eldest members remembers naught but an ominous warning uttered by those who once wielded its magics. The master of the apex shall be showered with good fortune, yet leave only sorrow in their wake. It's clear that despite owing their safety to the apex's power, our forebears viewed it as something to be feared. It must be truly immense. Now, on the matter of the thief. Even during our brief acquaintance, he made plain his desire to bring change to Razdathan. Naturally, I've started my search here, and have been seeking anyone who's expressed dissatisfaction with the status quo. Sure enough, I soon heard stories of a recent arrival, a self-styled savior of Razdathan, who proclaims that he will lead the city to greatness and calls himself the Justiciar. He's apparently taken on the burden of personally exterminating the beasts which infest Thavnir's wilds. He made a great show of claiming he alone is equal to the task. While he certainly draws a crowd with his boasting, they only watch with morbid curiosity as he sets off into the jungles alone. I realize this can have nothing to do with our problem, but even the smallest lead should be pursued. I've heard he often gives speeches of the region's smaller settlements, so shall we go and see this Justiciar for ourselves? Or Justiciar? It's decided. I hear Yildamad would be a good place to start. Hopefully, there we can find our next crumb of a clue. I cannot believe it has been 4 fucking years since we were in Thavnir. Like, or got to Thavnir, I suppose, is more accurate before your embark. You're looking for the CR2? One of the soldiers just went after him. Went after him? Arndell, we're in luck. This boy saw the very man we seek. It seems he gave the same grand speech about saving the people, claiming the danger lurked nearby before venturing forth to combat it alone. Yet the Radiant host could not well stand idle, if there truly were beasts afoot, so one of them followed him. All we need to do is pick up their trail. He ran towards the shroud, but you should be able to spot him from Kadajaya's footsteps. You can see the whole forest from there. Thanks, you've been very helpful, so Arntel, let's head there and see what we can see. I'm still trying to understand what people mean by, like, it's been so long since we had a Allied Society combo quest. Because I don't understand what they mean by it, because this is Endwalker. Endwalker came before Dawntrail, and Endwalker, and when you finish all the Allied Society quests, you get the big fucking race. I have the trophy from that race currently sitting in my house. So is it just that it's usually really, the Master Quest, or Master Quest, what would you call that? Like the Ultimate Society Quest, right? Is that usually released earlier in the patch cycle? Like, in like, X.3 or something? Because I could have swore, and I may even have, like, mention of it in one of the Endwalker streams, that it came out in, I could have swore, again, it was like, 6.4. In which case, yeah, this is a little later than usual, but like, Now then, let us begin our search. Since I've never actually seen the Justiciar, I suggest we find the Radiant Host soldier first. They do all wear similar armor, after all. Oh no, yeah, someone's spreading lies in the fucking novice network. I've missed this. Now then, let us begin our search. Since I've never actually... Oh, I already read that, Lamau. Search your surroundings. They're saying there are no bad fights or dungeons in Dawntrail, and that's a fucking lie, because, What was this? God damn, I'm fast. Because, the fucking carnival one exists. That entire fucking dungeon is dog shit, and I hate it, and it should not be in the game. And I cannot fucking wait for 8.0 just so that I never have to see it again. I've only gotten Omega Scape in my roulettes once since Dawntrail came out. And that was during the most recent Moogle Treasure Trove event, where it gave you a thing. I've never seen Smileton since Dawntrail launch, except for the one time I queued for it because I wanted to play it again. I need that to happen to fucking Smileton, or whatever. No, whatever the fuck, the fucking Dream Burrow. I hate it. That first boss makes me so fucking mad. I think the most tilted I have ever been playing this fucking game has been in that dungeon because of that first fucking boss. I want to look at the Oppo. I want to see if I can spot this Justiciar. Unless the Justiciar is the Oppo. Ooh. Oh? No, as a plant. I don't think so. Anyway, Fallen Fungar. Whatever that is, it isn't moving anymore. Could it be one of the fiends the Justiciar is after? What about the Oppo? Let me look at him. No. That must be him. But what happened? We'd better get down there quickly. Alright, quick, in the car. I'm pulling out the fucking whipper. Oh, no. Teleported. Ooh. Nice. Gonna ethereal manipulate down to him. Need you to accept this party invite. Not to worry, Arendelle. He's unconscious, but otherwise appears unharmed. What happened? Sorry for enduring the wrong world quest. I ain't got no healing spells on me. Bet you wish you got a red mage. We heard you came here in pursuit of the Justiciar. Do you remember anything? Yes, I eventually found him. He was confronting that fiend that now lies dead. So my guess is that the Perch of the Apex works kind of like Domino from DC, where it makes you very lucky, but everyone in your immediate vicinity very unlucky. It's the Slipstream armor with the Baron helmet. Interesting. At last, the Justiciar graces Razdadhan. I shall bring unending peace to this beleaguered land. I don't know. I think Retroid does a pretty good job on that, man. But, you know, each their own, I guess. You are brave to follow in my path. Few indeed possess the mettle to even consider the terrors which threaten our home, let alone stand against them. Yet courageous though you may be, you are far too weak to fell a beast so mighty. It's a Fungar, man. That's like level 1 fodder. You fight those outside of Gridania. You're an archer. You should know this. Quit this place with your life while you are yet able. I'm of the Radiant Host. If I ran from such meager prey, I would become a laughingstock. How bold to look death in the eye without flinching. I doubt not your conviction to defend Razdadhan, and I believe it pales before mine. O Apex, bestow upon me your divine might. Based. Legend. Do you not heed my call? I require your power more than ever. Is something supposed to happen? Yo, what if the Apex just doesn't fucking do anything? Why? Am I yet unworthy? Or mayhap there's a button I must press. I love him. What a guy. This is not what I expected. Then aside, I'll dispose of this past. Just give me a moment. It cannot end like this. I won't be made a fool. Come on, you moldy trinket, work. Transform me into the hero of Razdadhan. I'm starting to feel I may be right. I now begin to wonder if he's meant to be styled after a, like a Sentai sort of deal. He burnished that idol and became wreathed in a mysterious light, then boulders started falling from the sky. Down they came, one after the other. That's when I must have been struck unconscious. Man, you got hit in the head with a rock that size and you're not dead? Damn. I recall only faintly, but I think I heard the man mumbling, quietly, quite excitedly, as if he had come upon a sudden revelation, or as if he was overtaken by madness. Better call him A, better call him B. It seems he got away unscathed. Either he had an incredible stroke of luck, or whatever he was beseeching to actually answer. Then it's as I suspected. The Justiciar is the self-same thief who stole the perch of the Apex. But no doubt he's long departed from here. First, I'll escort this fellow back to Yildamad and keep a close eye on him. Head wounds can have dreadful after effects. Hey, they're acknowledging it. Nice. No. Solid choice, but unneeded. The soldier made his way to Razadhan to make a formal report, and what an odd report it will be. His account seemed to align with legends of the treasure's powers. The wielder escapes unharmed and brought ruin to those around him. Could those falling rocks have been a freak accident? I'm not so sure. You won't believe it, he came back. Who came back? The Justiciar? Yes, not long after you left. He said he beat up a monster that knocked out a Radiant, and he was laughing his head off. Did he really do that? Is he really stronger than the Radiant? Maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. Well, my mate can't stop talking about him. He wants to be just like the Justiciar. His mom and dad weren't happy about that, though. I advise you and your friend to look for a different role model, but we thank you for telling us what happened. Personally, I'm trying to think of a heroic figure in Razadhan. Most members of the Radiant seem pretty cool. Varshan's a good role model if he's ever seen anymore, because I'm pretty sure it's softly confirmed that Vritra still occasionally wanders around as Varshan, if only because it's easier to walk around the city as a human-shaped thing than as a full-as Great Worm. The only bit of curiosity with that now, though, is that Vritra... okay, does Vritra only have one eye? Or does Vritra have both of his eyes, but one of his eyes is heavily drained of Aether? I'm pretty sure Vritra sacrificed a full one of his eyes. Gonzo, forever, GG... Well, there is one less fiend skulking about. I suppose he may have been simply testing the treasure's capabilities, and as far as we know, he's yet to use its power to evil ends. I find his motivations a mystery. To steal the perch of the Apex by force, only to come here to Thavnir and use it for good? It makes no sense. You've heard tell of the passage of the Unbound, yes? Many have ventured to Tuliolal claiming to be their victims, yet here they would be saviors. If he had such noble goals, then why did he stoop to such devious deception? What could he be plotting? He thinks he's doing things for the greater good, when in reality, he's just an idiot. But that's neither here nor there. He stole from my people, and that misdeed can't be forgiven. The Purge of the Apex helped us win peace. By its might, our forebears built the foundation of the lives we now lead. Until recently it stood silent, a symbol of our pride as a people. It reminded us that we carved out a home within that inhospitable wilderness. Being trusted with its protection is a great honor. I was so proud of my father when the elders chose him, so proud to be his daughter. Yet since the day it was stolen, some of the other of the other villagers made their disdain towards him only too clear. I can't bear it. That's why I must get it back, to restore my village's pride and my father's reputation. There's still so much we don't know about the Justiciar, but we have to assume he's learned to wield the Apex's power. I can't say whether those falling rocks have anything to do with it, but I won't discount it outright. I'll continue looking into his whereabouts while we still have so many questions. With both of us working together, we'll find answers soon enough. Wahoo! Let's fucking go! Arntel, I'm afraid there have been some developments that are less than encouraging. News of the Justiciar's actions have spread throughout the city, and with each retelling his deeds become more valorous. The younger citizens, in particular, seem to view him as something of an idol. Oh no. Despite the creatures he hunts posing no real danger, he would paint them as mighty beasts in need of felling. Of course, the Radiant Host are far too busy to trouble themselves calling every pest that casts a sideways glance at the city's gates. Yet the Justiciar has twisted circumstances to his advantage, proclaims to anyone who will listen that the Radiant Host shriek with terror before these beasts, and that he's the only one who can eradicate them. Though you might expect such claims to be dismissed as wild ramblings, it seems no few people have fallen for his ploy. The whispers of his exploits among the youth have practically grown into a clamor. Yet we mustn't be discouraged, for his increasing fame only makes it easier for us to sniff out his trail. And where better to start than Razdatan? I'll see you there, Arntel. I cannot fucking wait for them to reveal more information on the character creation updates. I really hope it lets me change my eye color to a more striking hue of yellow. Given how large the city is, let's split up to cover more ground. I already have a destination in mind, the High Crucible. I hear the alchemists there can concoct all manner of tinctures and powders, including those which help in detecting traces of energies left behind by magics and enchanted tools. Fallen rocks have invariably marked locations related to where the Justiciar has performed one of his feats, and I believe an alchemical mixture can help us determine if their presence is the work of the treasure. I'm hardly an expert in such concoctions, though, so I'll seek advice at the High Crucible. While I'm doing that, I would ask that you go to the Hall of the Radiant Host and see if they have any new information on the Justiciar's whereabouts. Does that plan sound agreeable to you? Great. Now that we both have our tasks, let's get to them. I'll meet you back here once my business is done. Oh no, there may be light spoilers for content I have technically already done. That I will get to on stream at some point. Not even maybe, I will. It's on the list. It's the Endwalker role quests. And also, I don't remember if I did. I may have to check the VODs. I don't believe I have. But also the side story that gives you the background and the 4 fiends. Yeah, this guy. Don't worry about him. I'm tired of hearing about this Justiciar. His popularity among the city's younglings is quickly becoming a cause for concern. Try as we might to refute his claims that the Radiant Hosts are allowing monstrous beasts to run amok unchecked. You know how young minds are, impressionable, and difficult to change one's set. We initially disregarded him as a boastful eccentric, but his alarming sway over the populace can no longer be ignored. We are at present considering whether to open a formal investigation into his activities. You and this ally of yours have done well in your search thus far. You even have a working theory about the falling stones. Quite impressive. Several of our number have encountered him during their patrols, only to lose sight of him under a hail of rocks. Such incidents have become all too frequent, and many in our ranks demand we act. For now, I'm afraid this is all the help I can offer. Please share what I've told you with your companion, and together we may yet unmask the Justiciar. If anything I told you can potentially help Mistress Tepike in her search, please share it with her and assure her that the Radiant Host are not standing idly by while the Justiciar poisons the people's minds. Hello, I'll be back for you. So are you have the... No, you don't. So I'm getting new glasses soon. Very excited. I still have to order... Well... I have my official pair coming already at some point, indeterminate, within the next 2 weeks. I'm also going to be ordering 2 other pairs, because I would like to have prescription sunglasses. And all of this is relevant because I could not fucking see that guy's hairstyle from the fucking 10 inches away from my screen I am. I thought he had the Athena hair for a moment, like, oh, that's interesting. But no, I'm just blind. It's heartening to know that the Radiant Hosts are taking this seriously. Thank you for speaking with them, Arantel. I have good tidings as well. I explained the situation to the alchemists, and they provided a powder that should help detect traces of magic in the surrounding environment. I say help, because the powder reacts only faintly on its own. To function properly, it requires the skills of one practiced in the arcane arts. Luckily, I have you. I've committed the locations of all sightings of the Justiciar to memory, and the closest to us was at the Perfumed Rise. Let's hope this powder works as intended. Oh, this is the Zervon one. I thought it was the Ravana one. The Justiciar was sighted near here, and I didn't see any other conspicuous stones around, so I sprinkled the powder over this one. Now concentrate your focus, or inner eye, or whatever it is, that's the locus of your power, and see if you can't detect any unnatural forces. Azem? So, were you able to detect anything? I knew you could do it, just because there are no crystals in the rock, the energy you detected must be the remnants of some kind of spell, is that right? And taking the story of the Radiant we rescued previously into account, we can conclude that the Justiciar uses the treasure to call these stones down from the sky. At least we now have an inkling of its true nature. Even so, not every question has been answered. The Radiant told us that even as the Justiciar stood before the creature, he seemed to have trouble calling forth the Apex's power at first. My father once said that the perch of the Apex is much like the wand he used to weave his magics. Of course, the main difference between them is the unique nature of the essence stored within the treasure. I know little of such arcane instruments, but you must be quite familiar with them. How do you use yours? I perform incantations. I believe is technically how Black Mage works. I see. Even with the right instrument, spellcasting requires the use of specific techniques. The Justiciar seems to lack any such expertise. So how did he tap into the treasure's power? Sheer willpower. I suppose the Perch of the Apex possesses some unique method of activation. When I spoke to the representatives of the other tribes about their treasures, no one mentioned special techniques being required. Not that the relics should have much in common to begin with. You two, did you see an Ari girl pass through here by herself? I'm afraid not. What happened? Wait, I recognize you both. The hero of the final days and our recent visitor from Tiral. Apologies for the imposition, but may I beg your assistance? It's all that Justiciar's fault. The girl said she was off to join the Fool's Crusade and ran out of Yildiman before anyone could stop her. Her mother begged us to find her, but if she's following the Justiciar, she could be anywhere. You see, he's been sighted at locations scattered all over Thavnir. We can't stand here looking at rocks while a girl is in danger, especially if the Justiciar is involved. We have to help. That'd be much appreciated. We're searching places where the Justiciar has been spotted before, so perhaps you could start where he hasn't been seen. Good idea. As far as I know, he hasn't been sighted at the northern shores. Come on, Arentel. I'll start my search right away. Pray hurry to the northern shores. I only hope we can find the girl soon. I got the pixie. I'm still mad that she doesn't have a mount action where she pulls out the fucking gun. Let me have the pixie with a gun. When can I give Celine her own gun? As is her birthright. I don't see her anywhere. I hope she's safe. You know, Sage still fits. Scholar would have also been a solid choice for the healer quests, now I think about it. You know, the Nimians and all. Your time is nigh. He's gonna get past. Gonna cast High Flare. Bullshit. Oh, sorry, Flare Star. My bad. I heard fighting, so I came as fast as I could. It's a good thing you arrived in time to save the girl. Thank you, mister. Thank you. I'm glad you're safe, but your mother must be worried sick. You shouldn't wander off like that, especially not to look for a trickster like the Justiciar. What? You mean he's a bad man? Yes, exactly. He stole an important treasure from my village, and now he's using it to make himself look brave. But he needs it to kill the monsters, to protect us. That's no excuse for stealing. He might have fooled you younglings with the Radiant Host to know what he's up to. But he said he'd save us from the monsters. He's our hero. The Radiant said we shouldn't be scared, but we all know the Justiciar is the one who keeps us safe. We don't need the Radiant anymore. No hero can save the world alone. Ah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say bad things about the Radiant. They protected everyone in the final days, I guess. I forgot how much they cared about us. I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have spoken to you like that after all you've been through. You said that you just see her as a thief and a trickster, but I hope it's not true. He's my hero. Well, I'd best escort her back to Yildamad. I'll meet you there later, Arendelle. I must wonder if those hair adornments, like, is it a system thing where they have to be Zayla Black? Or is it, or are they like hairpins? It's a cultural, accessory. I always thought that it's like a thing like, oh, some are just have those additional horn patterns. But the fact that the scale color does not match on that character, it makes me wonder if perhaps I am incorrect. The girl and her mother are reunited, and I think we can both give ourselves a pat on the back. They're on their way now to inform the Radiant Host that all is well. I would like to apologize for before I let my emotions get the better of me and harangued that poor girl, when she was hardly to blame for anything. I really should have been scolding myself. Arendelle, there's something I neglected to tell you before. The man who now calls himself the Justiciar came to us in the guise of a worldly merchant. He was eager to ask about the perch of the Apex and its history, and I was equally eager to tell him, not even considering what he might do with the information. I was so proud of my father for being appointed as its guardian. I suppose I was trying to impress the stranger out of sheer vanity. That vanity led to my father being attacked and the treasure being stolen from under our noses. I have no choice but to make amends for my mistake and bring it back. Yet some are convinced that the Justiciar acts only to serve the greater good. I couldn't accept that he might not have been as rotten as I thought, and lashed out at the wrong person. From now on, I can't let my emotions cloud my judgment. I must remain calm and look at the facts for what they are, and the facts say that the Justiciar has done no harm to the people of Thavnir. Even so, the organization he serves, the Passage of the Unbound, is evil to its very core. If its actions at my village are not villainy, I don't know what is. The situation is fraught with contradictions. I still don't know what to think. But what about you, Arendelle? Even if he hasn't attacked anyone, his actions are stirring unrest. I agree. He speaks of justice and heroism with great bluster, yet there is something we're missing. Thank you, Arendelle, for your wise words. I sometimes find it difficult to keep my heart from skewing my perspective, so I'm grateful that you're here to help me see clearly. So, it seems our objective is unchanged. We track down the man who stole my people's sacred treasure, whatever his intentions may be. Unraveling them comes secondary to finding the man himself. I'll continue to pour my every effort into the search, to stop by from time to time, and I may have something new to share with you. Arendelle, I hope you've been well. Since last we spoke, the Justiciar has been busy felling fiends all across Thavnir, leaving a trail of witnesses behind in his wake. More than a few have reported seeing stones falling from the sky, which all but confirms our theory that the treasure is causing the phenomenon. The stories share one more peculiar commonality. It seems the past sea hunts have all been of the seedkin variety. Why he avoids beasts of flesh and blood is yet a mystery. It bears mentioning that each of these eyewitness accounts come from people who were rescued by the Justiciar, who invariably appears just as these creatures attack. In fact, the Justiciar has been there to save the day in every single instance of seedkin-related mischief. Awfully suspicious if you ask me. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. Some among the raiding host have suggested that the Justiciar is planning these assaults somehow, so he alone can reap the glory from thwarting them. I agree and think this should be our next avenue of investigation. Many of these incidents occurred near the Giant Skull grounds, so we should start our search there. If we can find one of these monstrous plants before it finds hapless prey, we may be able to shed light upon the Justiciar's methods. Time is of the essence, so let us leave at once. I'm pretty sure I streamed the FF11 collab, right? I did it, 100%. You know what, I'll check. You know what? If I didn't stream it, I will. If all works out. I'll do it anyway. Just like, maybe not today, but at some point. Let me just pull up my funny little playlist. Where is it? Why is it so far down? Was I a fucking nerd and did I fucking put XI instead of 11 in the title? Shit. Yeah, XI is not gonna help me much, is it? Fucking god damn it. Final Fantasy 14, shocking. Porkseas, yeah, no, that's got XI in it. That's 14 again. No, I'm going the other way. The Rising, I cannot tell if I have streamed this event before. Should I do it again just to be safe? I really don't want to repeat stream content, man. I type in event, Valentine's Day, Little Ladies Day, Make It Rain, seasonal, spooky event, Rising, Moonfire Fair, combo seasonal event, Beck and Storm's Blood, Valentine's Day. If I did it, I didn't put event in the title. Unlock. No, that's Vanadil, which is Final Fantasy 11. For some reason, it brought up my Storm's Blood part 25 stream. Did I do it in this? Did I feel like there was a third person? Nope. Don't want to hear that. I mean, I'm already hearing myself fucking lol and all. We also did the event quest. It says... Oh, there's a bug. I remember a bug, I think. And we're in Eorzea. Yeah, okay, there it is. Yeah, I have streamed this. Yeah, there she is. Okay! It's from my 25th stream. I will not be redoing it. Alright, back to matters of actual import. Any moving bushes, slithering vines. Not here in any case. Arntel, I'll search the western path. Why don't you search east? If you see something, don't strike to kill. Weaken it, then capture it with this rope. We'll learn much more from a live specimen. I know I have not streamed the Final Fantasy 15 event, and I do not believe I've streamed the Final Fantasy 16 event, even though it did happen while I was streaming, I think. So if they ever rerun those... Did I stream the 15 event? If you see any moving things, sprouting leaves, flowers, or the like, capture it with the rope and bring it here. They don't know what's coming. Flare Star, Despair, Xenoglossy, 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 Xenoglossy. Oh, that was weird. Wait. Why is that out of sync? That fix? I didn't fix it. Oh, that's an interesting ramification of whatever the fuck causes that audio glitch. I suspect it is something to do with either my registry or my drivers. In either event, I'll be getting a new computer at some point, eventually. And then it'll no longer be a problem. Or I'll be doing a clean install to swap over to Linux at some point, eventually. You see, Linux is scary because I play Vigigame and I see plenty of fauna roaming around, but the flora all seem to be of the rooted to the ground variety. Perhaps my hunch was incorrect. You found one. In fact, this is exactly as an eyewitness described. Why don't you keep it for the time being? Bring it to the Great Work, and I'll ask my acquaintance there to examine it with all haste. This alchemist and I spoke briefly the last time I was here. Give her the little seedkin you caught, and we'll see what she makes of it. Mistress Tepike told me what to expect. Well then, let's see the thing. Oh, I didn't expect it to be so diminutive. If Mistress Tepike's intuition is correct, then I expect some interesting discoveries are in store. You've brought me quite the fascinating specimen indeed. I can say for certain that this creature's growth isn't natural in the slightest. Biologically, it's still but a sapling, but as you can tell by its size, yet it is the result of a specific alchemical mixture which is used to spur the growth of seeds and mycelium to an unnatural degree. The agents have a side effect of making the creatures more aggressive, which explains why such a small specimen would so boldly attack beings larger than itself. Yet the solution requires ingredients most rare, and the cost of procuring enough to synthesize it would be beyond the means of most. So whoever is behind this, they are likely well-heeled. As a new phrase. As for the creatures themselves, if they were all grown artificially, perhaps it explains why most of the incidents involve small seedkin. Rather than wait for them to mature naturally, the Justiciar must have accelerated their growth so that he could deploy huge numbers over a short span of time. In fact, his plan likely requires they be small, weak foes in order to guarantee his victory. After all, the great Justiciar can hardly be expected to bear the blemish of defeat. With these new details brought to light, it's almost certain he's staging these attacks on the common folk. Now we have a new perspective to guide our search. Perhaps you should return to Yildimat. I heard the Justiciar is the talk of the village, and they doubtless have stories to share. A splendid idea. Thank you. Your findings have brought us a step closer to unmasking the villain. Sneeze so loud it'll reset the fucking peak meter in OBS. Let's hurry to Yildimat. The more accounts we have of the Justiciar, the better our chances of predicting his next move. Hang on. Alright. Rest assured, the Radiant Host are well aware of the Justiciar. Every day we receive more reports of him combating beasts in the surrounding wilderness. These encounters are never on well-traveled roads, it seems. They occur in remote regions that are scarcely patrolled along routes that are only used by a small number of merchants and porters. We've concluded that the Justiciar either has uncommon knowledge of the behavioral patterns of these creatures, or that he keeps close company with a merchant who travels with those obscure paths. Whatever the man's true motives may be, it's clear he has an uncommon knowledge of the region and its wildlife. The question is, how exactly would he come to know such things? Oh, you're hungry to learn more of the Justiciar? He's amazing. I was lucky enough to catch a glimpse of him on the road leading here, facing down a fearsome creature. I don't know how he did it, but he called down rocks from the sky to knock that thing flat. The Radiant Host were away on patrol, so if he hadn't come to our rescue, that brute would have marched right into our homes. He shouted that he was the savior of Razad-Han, and even waved at me. Oh, he looked so impressive, with the sun shining behind him. He looked so gallant, standing over his fallen foe, waving at me with the sun at his back. Why are we calling attention to the setting sun? Or rising sun? Don't tell me you've come chasing that half-baked savior. The younglings might be taken in by his honeyed words, but anyone with experience can see that he's nothing but a charlatan, and I have a story to prove it. The merchant I know took a tumble as he was transporting his goods. Not long after comes the Justiciar, looking chivalrous as you please in his shining armor. But did he offer a helping hand? No, he ran off with nary a glance backwards. He may go on about slaying beasts, but a real hero would never ignore someone in need, even if they were just suffering from scraped knees and a bruised ego. What kind of hero would abandon a person in need? My friend is lucky his wounds weren't worse, else he may have died there. Yeah, he's got hero syndrome. He's creating catastrophes so that he may... What's going on here? interesting. So that's so he can like save people from the things he created. Whoa. Arndell, do you have a moment? I'm having a little trouble here. I sought this merchant out because I was told he dealt with the alchemists in the Great Work. I thought he might know something about the Justiciar, but when I asked, he's been like this ever since. I apologize. I was just surprised that you would ask me about that madman. What connection could he possibly have with me? The fiends he fights are grown with rare alchemical materials, and we think he may be staging these encounters. Since you deal in such wares, I wondered if you might know how he came into their possession. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I never spoke to that man. I very much doubt that. Perhaps we could be more receptive to questioning from you, Arndell. He seems to have intimate knowledge of trade routes in alchemy. Who taught him, I wonder? Come now, any merchant with a nose for profit has good relations with the alchemists. By your way of thinking, anyone could be in league with Virazahan. Virazahan, you say? Who is that, may I ask? What? Did I know? That's my name, I'd be a fool to continue this charade any longer. My son Virazahan is the one you know as the Justiciar. To be suddenly confronted with his litany of misdeeds, I quite lost my composure. You're his father, then do you know how he came into possession of such rare materials and knowledge? He stole them from me, my most valuable materials, my precious maps. Yet, I was the one who chose to hide that fact, and I bear the blame for the consequences. You can what can you tell us about him as a person? Virazahan was obsessed with tales of legendary heroes, even from a young age. I paid a great deal of money to have him tutored in the art of the bow. He became quite skilled at it, in fact, but not quite as skilled as his arrogance led him to believe. Due to this, and perhaps a lack of ambition, he never aspired to true greatness. Instead, he came to rely upon fanciful equipment and exotic potions, rather than honing what skill he had. It pained me to see him fall into dissoluteness, but he would brook no counsel. So, several years ago, I gave him enough coin to support his lavish lifestyle and told him to never speak with me again. He didn't, but until recently, when he darkened my doorstep once more. And that was when he stole your goods. Although I would have willingly given them if he had but asked, he was rambling almost incoherently, saying that his heroic deeds as a Justiciar had caught the eye of someone named Apiyahi, leader of the Passage of the Unbound, whoever they are. He claimed that under the guidance of his newfound allies, he had obtained a great power enough to eclipse all heroes who have come before and shall come after, as he put it. It seems he gave what money he still has to these people. To think that that for all his fanciful words, he has only deigned to grasp with hollow glory, all at the expense of Razdahan. There is no greater shame as a father. Given what we know of this shadowy group, they most likely aim to sow discontent through I fucking just had it. Through Virazahan's deeds. He may be so blinded by his own desire for adoration that he can't see whose hands are pulling his strings. You're saying that he's being used. If that's true, then I can no longer remain silent. Despite what shame it may bring, I see now that sharing my story might be the only way to save my son. Indeed, I suggest you tell the Radiant Host at once. Of course, we'll be pouring our every effort into stopping him. Thank you for giving me direction. I didn't imagine our meeting would end this way. Truth be told, I'm not entirely unsympathetic to Virazahan. I basked in my father's reflected glory while having none of my own to speak of. The glory Virazahan seeks is similarly false. I too shall visit the Radiant Host and have them spread word of the Justiciar's true nature. If the people are wise to his trickery, they will be far more likely to aid us. He'll soon learn that a legend built on lies is no match for true heroism. Greetings, Arndel. Virazahan's father has been as good as his word and has confessed the truth of his son's actions to whomsoever will listen. Even among the younglings, far fewer sing the Justiciar's praises. The tide is turning in our favor at last, and the Radiant Host are making ready to tighten the net. Speaking of which, they had curious news to share. They've been examining the stones left behind by the Justiciar and noticed a pattern. They were all varieties of rock commonly found near the site of each encounter. For instance, near the Giant Skull grounds, the Justiciar seems to have called down a hail of what else but Giant Skull. I have my own theories about what this means, but I'd like to hear your thoughts, Arntel. It's safe to say the artifact doesn't create rocks from nothing. Indeed, the perch of the apex likely lifts whatever stones are nearby and brings them crashing down to Earth. If our suspicions are correct, we're one step closer to unraveling its mysteries. But despite these favorable developments, the Justiciar's popularity remains a problem. Even with the recent blow to his credibility, his most ardent followers still idolize him. In fact, I hear he's handing letters to the youth of Ralston through their contents are a closely guarded secret. All the more reason to investigate, don't you think? Once we get to Ralston, if I question people around the marketplace, could you cover the city's western quarter? That's where his younger followers tend to gather. After you've collected enough information, let's meet to share our findings. See you again in Ralston, Arentel. I do hope they rerun the 16 and 15 collabs. The 15 collab because everyone deserves to have the regalia, solid fucking mount, and the 16 collab because I didn't stream it. That's my only reason. You'll get copyright claim, 100%, but I think it'd be worth it. I mean, I do intend to stream. Oh, fuck, I do intend to stream 16 at some point. That'd be funny, actually. I stream it, and then I just keep the VOD private for, like, however many years it takes me to get a fucking Elgato. The Justiciar gave me that invitation himself, only for some thief to snatch it right out of my hand. Huh? You believe in the Justiciar too? Well, I didn't have a chance to read the whole letter before it was stolen, but he's gathering his most devoted for a special audience. Oh no! The bastard who stole my invitation is clearly up to no good. He even muttered something about getting revenge. But who could hate someone so noble? The letter was stolen before I could read it all, but it looks like the Justiciar is gathering his followers for a special audience. Oh no. That's worrying. Ooh, so I've seen one. Yeah, I know about the letters. Me and my friends didn't get one, though. The grown-ups get angry if we talk about the Justiciar. But guess what? I heard Zashal talking about him over by Mehrid's Mehain. He had a big grin on his face, too. Does that mean the Justiciar isn't a bad man, like the grown-ups say? No, I imagine he's worse than we realize. That merchant Zashal seems to like the Justiciar, not like the other grown-ups. If you're looking for him, he might still be in Mehrid's Mehain. Oh, you're the one who's always following that Tepike around. I heard she's spreading rumors about the city's savior. I won't let her harm his reputation any more than she already has, so I have nothing to say to her lapdog. The most useful clue points to fair. Ask me again, and the answer will be the same. Now get out of my sight. Ha! It's true what they say, a fool and his gil are soon parted. Huh? Why, if it isn't one of the heroes of the final days? This isn't about that map I sold to your companion, is it? You'll find it points the way to the vaults of Alzadal III exactly as described. I may have employed a few creative methods to entice my customers, but what merchant doesn't? I'm not here about the map. You're not? But of course, why would you be? Well, what can I do for one of our vaunted heroes? You're after the Justiciar. Your choice of query is unusual, to say the least, but perhaps I can help you along, yeah? The young man came asking for a map to open the way to Uznair. I sold him every map I had, assuring him that the one he needed was among them. I suppose he found it, as I hear these letters that were handed out contain a copy of a map. I dare say that young fellow was the Justiciar himself, and he's planning a clandestine meeting in the Uznair canals. Mind you, it appears he has no shortage of enemies. No doubt they'll try to interfere. Truthfully, Razdatan isn't known for large-scale criminal organizations, but that hasn't kept the less scrupulous citizens from dirtying their hands when times are desperate. From what I hear, bandits seeking to rob trade caravans keep running into the Justiciar during his fiend-felling exploits, causing their raids to end in failure. Like as not, they'll try to infiltrate his group of followers and settle the score. And that's where my knowledge of the matter ends. If you're wondering where the meeting place is, all I remember is that the spot marked on the copied maps is somewhere in the shroud of Samga. So, does that answer your queries? The location is somewhere within the shroud of Samga. I can't remember much beyond that, so perhaps you could stop bothering me now? Honestly, I'm better off just running. I think I will actually have to travel a greater distance if I go to the Aetherite. Those in support of the Justiciar didn't seem surprised when I told them of his misdeeds, but still they were reluctant to betray him. In short, I've had no luck. What about you, Arentel? Your investigative abilities never cease to amaze me. As for this gathering, is planning, I expected some scheme to prop up his flagging popularity. Even so, many of his devotees are younglings, ill-equipped to make the perilous journey to the meeting place. If they've any sense, rather than attempt to travel more directly, they'll stop at settlements along the way to rest and confirm the route. You said the map led into the Shroud of Samga, yes? That means Palkistan is the closest settlement. I hear many took refuge there during the final days, and it's now a bustling town in its own right. The arrival of more people would hardly raise eyebrows, making it the perfect place to avoid unwanted attention while they make ready. We should head there before they leave on the final leg of their journey. I was right, Arentel. Many of the youths are carrying pieces of parchment. Those must be the letters. Yet it seems my reputation has preceded me. Our suspected followers clearly avoided me whenever I try to approach them. Still, we can use this to our advantage. None of them would dare leave Palkistan while there's risk, I might follow after. I'll keep watch over their comings and goings, but I will make sure to leave obvious blind spots. If one of the Justiciar's followers attempts to escape the village, I need you to go after them. Now, find a vantage point that affords a good view while keeping you hidden. Once you've started pursuing our unwitting guest, I won't be far behind. What are you doing? If they find out that we're working together, this will all be for nothing. Watch from a hidden vantage point and follow anyone you see trying to leave Palkistan. Quietly. Nothing to see here. Ignore the glowing stick. It's fine. Oh, shit. What? Wait, where's he going? No one's following? Nope. Nope. Not a person. Is someone there? Nope. I'm in the clear. I need to hurry. I don't usually read those. I don't know why I am now. I'm careful I don't run into his range. I don't even think the Selkie is my tallest mount. I don't have very good cover. Man's just gonna run into that fucking gorilla. Damn, he's fucking booking it. I made it. Did something move? No. Ignore this. It's just my imagination. The map points here. Bog. The portal should be nearby, and then I'll finally meet him. Well, you're the hero who saved us in the final days. What are you doing here? Trying to meet a fellow hero. So you're working alongside that woman I saw in the at the village. I've heard about the rumors she's spreading, and I had no idea she'd enlisted your aid. You just CR saved me, you see. I was transporting goods for a local merchant who was too miserly to even hire a proper escort. A ferocious creature ambushed me, but my savior appeared from nowhere and saw off the beast. I owe him my life. That's why I came here, to see if there's any truth to the rumors. Now I understand I'm in over my head. Going back home, here, you can have the map. I trust you to take the measure of the Justiciar and to share the truth with all. Apologies for watching from the shadows, but I was afraid my presence might have startled the lad. I was able to hear what he said, though, and his gratitude towards the Justiciar seemed genuine. I dare say the other followers feel similarly. Well, now that we have a map of our own, let's open the portal and confront Virazan. What a sight. Did the treasure cause this? Oh my, if it isn't the hero who saved Raz-Ad-Han, nay, the world itself. I never expected someone so vaunted to attend my audience, but I am honored nonetheless. Enough of your games, Raz-Ad-Han. Stop this madness at once. After giving you such a warm welcome, these are the things I get. While 'tis true that I was once known by that name, 'twas merely a guise I wore until I discovered my true self. So long as I am the masked hero of Raz-Ad-Han, I shall not suffer any to call me fuck you. But that is your name, isn't it? Why don't you drop the act and try being a true hero? I'm giving you an out. A true hero, you say? Indeed, perhaps casting aside this mask is the price I must pay for the adoration I am due. Very well. My name shall ring throughout Raz-Ad-Han. It'll be known that the Justiciar is Virazahan, and Virazahan is the Justiciar. What are you saying? You unleashed the perch of the Apex upon your own followers. You know its name? Wait, I remember you. The girl from Shak Taral, yes. Your village's artifact is not discriminating in its wrath. Some among my followers harbored wicked intentions and had brought sorrow unto my enemies. The true of heart, caught in the aftermath, were merely unfortunate. But they believed in you, even though you tricked them. What kind of hero are you? You too would oppose me? I had thought that as fellow saviors, we might find some common ground, yet it would seem we are destined to walk different paths. I gave you an out. Now, faced with unknown peril, a great fervor rages within me. However, here is not where we shall match wits. No, a more fitting battleground is in order. We will meet again soon, you have my word. Ah, shut up. Gah! Fucking got his ass. Legend. So, can you tell us what happened here? He gathered us all around and made a grand speech, claimed he was the hero that would drive back the flood of fiends threatening Thavnir. Then he spoke of his anger at the recent rumors. He told us to go forth and repair his damaged reputation so that the people would love him again. He became quite impassioned, in fact. As for us two, we were here to teach him a lesson, biding our time until his back was turned, but he couldn't stomach his self-righteous drivel any longer. He acts like he's a god, like he's a god come to grace Thavnir, but most people have grown wise to his tricks, including the Radiant Host. We stepped forward and told him as much, then demanded that he admit he's been pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. That's when he started waving the thing about. We soon learned that the rumors of his power were true, and rocks started falling down all around us. Even us true believers were not spared. There was nowhere to run. The Justiciar said such power cannot be fettered, and that sacrifices are unavoidable, and all the while he was laughing. We pleaded with him for mercy, but that just made him angrier. He flourished the object again, and yet more rocks assailed us. It was horrible, stones big and small raining down endlessly, until you two appeared, that is. Thank you for telling us what happened. I only wish we could have arrived sooner. Now, just to set things straight, it was you two that brandished your weapons first, yes? Well, I won't deny that, but we were only trying to bring the truth of his misdeeds to light. Though we might have had some personal score to settle on top of that. Before I left Palkistan, I asked a Radiant host there to look out for anyone returning from the wilderness. I suggest you head there and seek their aid, but while you're there, share with them what you just told us. And as for the pair of you, don't even think about running away, or you'll have us to deal with. Everyone has returned to the care of the Radiant host. As for those Lowe's ruffians who meant to attack Virazahan, it seems they had a history of violence for which they may soon answer. Several among Virazahan's followers were dealt serious wounds, but we can be grateful that none lost their lives. It's exactly as the old saying describes: the master of the Apex shall be showered with good fortune, yet leave only sorrow in their wake. The part about sorrow certainly seems true, at least. We can but hope that Virazahan's spell over the people will be broken at last when the word of what transpired here becomes common knowledge. Let that buoy our spirits as we return to Yildamad. Nah, he's just gonna pivot to villain, which... I mean, like, I don't see it ending well. Well, that was certainly an ordeal. Although Virazahan got away, we can look back upon what transpired to plan our next course of action. It appears that the treasure takes rocks from the surrounding environment and makes them rain down upon the builder's surroundings. However, the power seems to be somewhat haphazard. While Virazahan himself wasn't struck, the boulders assailed friend and foe alike. Something else has been nagging at me as well. The stones we saw in the canal seemed quite a bit larger than the others. I don't know what to make of it, but I will give it some thought. We still don't know exactly how he controls the Apex's abilities either. We must focus on these mysteries as we continue our investigation. As for Virazahan himself, he was just as his father said, wasn't he? His so-called heroism is an empty charade, like a child playing at being a hero from the storybooks. He seems motivated by a vain desire to gain the love of the people, yet he cares nothing for their well-being. He'll learn his lesson soon enough, though. None will sing his praises after what happened at Uznair spreads. He must know this. I worry that his desperation will drive him to worse misdeeds. If the treasure is used with reckless abandon, it could cause untold harm. I must discuss with the Radiant host. Together, we might be able to capture Virazahan before he attempts anything drastic. Stand by for now, Arntel. I'll be in touch the moment I have anything to share. It seems Virazahan has been laying low since our last encounter. I'm sad to say, however, that my investigations have uncovered little. But still, there's cause to celebrate. I've received a letter from my mother with good tidings. My father has finally awakened after the grievous wound dealt to him by Virazahan. He's well enough to travel to Yolal, in fact, and may have already arrived. Of course, I'd love nothing more than to go to him, but I pledged not to return until I had the perch of the Apex in my hands. Besides, I'm soon to depart with the Radiant host to try and sniff out Virazahan's whereabouts before he acts out of desperation. That's why I ask that you go in my stead. As the treasure's guardian, no one living is more knowledgeable about its history than he. If you share with him all that has transpired since we began our search, he may be able to point out something that we've missed. I know it's a lot to ask, Dawntrail, but the safety of Thavnair depends on it, and please, give my family my regards. My mother should be able to tell you where in Tuyolal my father is staying. Once you're finished, let us meet in the Aetheryte Plaza in Razat Han to share what we've learned. My father may know something about the treasure that we've yet to uncover ourselves. Pray go to Jabalyav Tai and ask my mother where to find him. Okay. I'm a little tempted to make a Google Doc with a list of all the content I've cleared and what mod it's in, just to expedite what I did earlier, you know? Have I done this event? I have. Here it is. Oh, it isn't Dawntrail, but I don't see TPK with you. Did you come alone? I'm glad to hear my letter arrived safely, and that TPK seems to be as tenacious as ever in her search. Her father, Ninetse, has only arrived here in Tuyolal, but has barely stayed in one place since. He seems desperate to help TPK from a distance in whatever way he can. He told me he was traveling to Piario Plain. In search of information he assured me was quite vital. If you wish to speak with him, he'll doubtless be in the area. Regalia. Spooky bird. Ooh, it's a hunt. Thank you, traveler. I overextended myself. I've but recently recovered from a severe injury, and was a fool to confront such a beast alone. So, you're the Dawntrail I've heard so much about. I owe you many thanks for all you've done to recover the Perch of the Apex. News of your progress in Thavnair is most heartening. Despite my position as its guardian, I never knew it could rain down stones from the heavens. Since arriving in Tuyolal, I've done what I can to shed light upon the Vidral sealed within the vessel. After the nations of Tural were unified, some left our village to build new homes in the city. I sought them out to see if they know anything of use. Unfortunately, none could offer insight into the treasure's magics, but one of them told me that owls lurk around this place. And since the Vidral sealed within the Perch of the Apex was once an owl, it seemed logical to pursue such a query. I thought perhaps I could glean something of the artifact of the ancient beast from their behavior. Like as not, some fundamental aspects remain the same even after transformation. But having heard your account, there is one fundamental difference that stands out. As far as I'm aware, no owl native to these lands possesses the ability to hurl rocks, large or otherwise. No doubt, the Dawntrail Vidral gained this power following its metamorphosis. I do believe, however, that it would retain an owl's core instincts. That one you fought didn't strike unprovoked. Instead, it watched from afar with fear in its eyes. While this is normal behavior for most animals, I was surprised by how suddenly it descended upon me the moment I started approaching. Oh, you're approaching me. It sensed danger and attacked preemptively. I had the same thought. The owl sensed the threat and chose to confront it rather than run from it. And this same impulse may have driven the Dawntrail Vidral. Indeed, that correlates with something I heard from one of my countrymen who had relocated to Tuliolal. He spoke of a continuation to the tales passed down from the elders. No hunter's arrow could fell the apex. It was struck down in a storm of its own wrath, made wild by a heart affright. Thus it was sealed away at last. Now, judging from the owl's behavior, I can theorize that the treasure is activated when its bearer senses danger, and according to the story, this power can easily get out of hand if its bearer is panicked. Of course, this theory must be tested first. Virzahan will certainly use the Perch of the Apex again. When he does, I ask that you and Antipike pay special attention to the circumstances leading to its activation. You have my thanks. Loath though I am to admit it, I've yet to recover from my long convalescence. Now, it would only be a burden to you. I wish I could aid my daughter another way, but you more than make up for my absence. Please lend her every bit of knowledge you have, Arntel. I pray that my daughter will soon return home, treasure in hand. I was gonna mute for that, alas. Pray return to Tepike and give her my regards. I only hope an old man's wild theory can help you in your quest. That is a clean entire quest of day. Nice, nice. Love to see it. My wallet. Arntel, you came just in time. Virzahan has shown his face in Razathan. You can tell me about your journey to Tuliolal later. For now, come with me. Listen, man, all I'm saying is I'm a ranged job. And I have mana ward. I can just hit him with a spell. I can hit him with sleep. I'm a black mage. Wait a minute. I can just put him to sleep. Aha, are you surprised? Thanks to the sage counsel of a fellow hero, I have decided to doff my mask. Although my face may be unfamiliar, I believe you know who I am. I was once the Justiciar, but now you may call me Virzahan. I am Thavner's protector, its savior, its hero. You may have heard salacious rumors that I have orchestrated the very attacks which I so valiantly drive back. That I was behind the catastrophe at the Uznair canals. I'm here to assure you. Those are false aspersions, all cast by those who are envious of their betters. I give my life for this rare city and its people, and I would give more still if I could. What should we do? It might be best to lock him up before this gets out of hand. Wait, we don't want him raining down rocks with all these bystanders around. For now, keep a careful eye on him. All I ask is for your respect, your adoration, a dream held by all but realized only by the few. And I would be one of those few. I have proven myself worthy of being your savior, and now, with an entire city watching with bated breath, I shall declare my intent to reach even higher. Yes, for I can protect you all the better as your ruler. I shall retire the mantle of hero and take up the crown as the king of Razdatan. Is this the part where fucking Reacher comes down? Rocks fall? Antagonist dies? The bastard's gone mad. I wield power unassailable. With me on your throne, we would never again have cause to fear. All would live in peace, all would shower me with love, they would shout it to the heavens, and from that love would spring a new Raz-Datan, a greater Raz-Datan. So you're gonna build a wall to keep out the fucking fiends. Enough of your lies, Vir-Zahan. The power you wield protects none but yourself. To everyone else, it brings only ruin. Of course, the road to greatness is ever paved with necessary sacrifices, yet as long as your ruler lives, Raz-Datan shall know naught but prosperity. You think you're better than Master Vritra. He bore the city and its peoples on his back while you look fit to collapse under the weight of your own armor. You're no leader, you're a damned joke. Does this man speak for you all? Is there not one among you who would follow me into a brighter future? Ah, but I am nothing if not magnanimous. Until you find the wisdom to accept me as ruler, I shall continue to stand vigilant as your eternal shield. Stop it. Stop this. Fuck. You're only making it worse for yourself. Can't you see you've become a laughingstock? Give up this facade and answer for your sins. Do so now, and the Radiant Host may yet grant you mercy. My sins? Are you not the one poisoning the people against me? Do your worst, I dare you. It will only make me more powerful. I know not what is in your heart, but please end this madness. End it and return to me, my son. This can only go well. Don't get any closer. You two, why are you? What? Don't. If you fight here, there's no telling how many innocents will be wounded. Pathetic as ever. I tire of this farce. I've declared my intent to become king of Raz-Datan. As for you two, this is no place for a battle between heroes. We shall meet again, mark my words, and then we shall decide who is mightier. We can't risk a confrontation in the city. You're right, of course. As much as I hate to see Vir-Zahan walk free, we've yet to ascertain the extent of his power. For now, we must bide our time. I noticed that despite all his proclaimed love for its people, he didn't even look back at them as he retreated. Perhaps he couldn't bear to look them in the eyes. Or one of them, at least. I've just had a thought. We should speak with Vir-Zahan's father, Arundel. That was a disaster. Vir-Zahan is truly lost. At the very least, he's committed himself to fomenting unrest within Raz-Datan.
and although he's my son, I cannot condone his actions. His words are grand but empty, and that ridiculous armor is nothing more than gaudy decoration. He is truly the embodiment of false heroism. What's more, his latest debacle has surely made him a criminal in the eyes of the Radiant Host. All I can do now is beg them to grant my sons some small degree of clemency. Before you go, may I ask you something? After Virzahan called down the locks, did you see his expression? I thought it peculiar, but I am curious as to what his father saw in his face. Aye, it was a familiar look. When I used to scold him for losing himself in make-believe, he would get that same cast in his eyes. A look of petulant rage, as if he resented me for pulling him out of his reverie and into harsh reality. It hasn't changed. Apologies, but I must go. Just as I thought, even clad in his shining armor, he can't bear to be told no, and now his childish games have taken a malevolent turn. But for now, we should return to Yildimak. I still have yet to hear what you learned in Tuliodal, after all. Now that we have some room to breathe, I'd like to hear about your journey to Tural. Did my father have anything to share? I'm heartened to know he's well enough to go chasing after owls and such, though I wish he'd take more care. Thank you for saving him and for bringing me this theory concerning the treasure. If it really is triggered by a sense of impending danger, that might explain why Virzahan had trouble using it the first time. He wasn't truly afraid of that small fungi until it was almost upon him. It also explains how he can wield the Apex's power despite having no training in magics. It responds to emotion, not intent. So much is falling into place. He goaded the Radiant into apprehending him because he knew the threat would be answered. You saw how nonchalantly he quit that plaza, almost as if defying someone to stop him. Virzahan truly believes himself to be untouchable. I think his words and deeds align with the theory well enough. As for that curious fragment of the story, it seemed to imply that the Tural lost control in a panic. Perhaps its strength grows in proportion to the danger it senses. And when that danger is too great, well, you saw what happened in the Usnir canals in Virzahan. You were present both times, as were others who wished Virzahan ill. And both times you saw stones much larger than we've seen before. Now I understand why he's so eager to face you. An opponent of your caliber will strike fear into Virzahan's very core, and that fear will summon a power greater than any he's ever known, power enough to bring a hero to his knees. Or so he thinks, but we know better. He'll use that arrogance to our advantage and bring him crashing down to earth. Although we may have to contend with falling rocks for a time, in a straight fight he'll be outmatched. So we strike fast and strike hard, until that fancy armor is nothing more than mangled steel. Although you may prefer to put your foes to sleep and whatnot, you know he has an arsenal of alchemical concoctions at his disposal. That's why I suggest a bit of good old-fashioned brute force. While you unleash your most fearsome destructive spells, I'll be your shield. Don't even think of holding back. If I hold back, he's going to be an actual smoldering pile of ash. But, hey. I look forward to fighting by your side. Now, we simply have to find a suitable arena. I shall consult the Radiant Host as to the location. Once that's decided, we'll confront Virzahan for the final time. Like, this is black magic we're talking about, you know? You'll be pleased to know that the Radiant Host were most helpful in finding a place fit for a duel. When I saw it, even I began to believe our encounter would be one for the songs. Speaking of which, it seems your name is on the lips of all and sundry. The people have already considered you the true savior of Razadhan, and believe you will bring Virzahan the deceitful to true justice. We apologize for putting so much weight on your shoulders, but something tells me you're used to it. Yeah. The final showdown shall take place in the mountain pass leading to Kadaga, where great crystals will stand as witness. witness to its conclusion. Suitably romantic and suitably isolated, the Radiant Host have spread word throughout Fafnir that the hero has arisen to challenge Irisahan, and his pride will force him to answer. The entrance to the pass is at the Giant Skull grounds. Let's head there at once to await his arrival. Stand ready for my arrival, worm. I have not watched Invincible. I've watched, like, a plot summary of the comic. At some point I'll watch it. It is definitely interesting. I like how it's a subversion of, like, superhero tropes, while not being, like, full-blown parody. Sremo here has opened the way towards Karaka. I'm certain Virzahan will arrive before long, and then we'll wipe that arrogant grin off his face. But first, we should check our gear and gird our loins for battle. Are you ready, Arentel? Extremely. I'm only roughly 100 eye level over the sync, so I'm 3 off. Am I 3 off on this? I might only be 90. There he is. Through the cragged peaks of Karaka, desolate wind blows over the fields of battle. Oh, what a fitting location you have chosen for the conclusion of this legendary rivalry. I was right not to face you before, and Environs unsuited to a struggle between titans. Now my patience has been rewarded, and my heart races in anticipation. I knew you would answer our challenge. You would never be able to stomach the people calling you craven. Such boldness in the face of impending doom. Have you not realized by now that so long as I wield the perch of the apex, I am invincible? Title card. We'll soon put that to the test. You rely too much upon stolen power. It deludes you. You claim to be a savior of the people, but they have seen through your lies. Even your own father can scarcely bear to look at you. You're nothing but a small man hiding within the hollow facade of a hero. And today, we tear that facade down. Will you now? You may have the medal, but have you the puissance to claim the mantle of hero? My mantle. I already have the mantle, motherfucker! I am the mantle! Virzahan the Deceiver, unbound. The time for words is past. Follow my lead.
no healing as a black mage. And minimal support in Dawntrail. You fool. I excel at fucking AoE. Oh, we're actually breaking his armor off. What? My armor! My armor! That's a big rock. I want to fall. I mean, I would think that Mr. Storybook over here would know the stories. Fair enough. No, there's no draws here. You've lost. Here's a Han. Lay down your weapon. I'm becoming defenseless. This right piece of wood was supposed to make me invincible. Final card. I can't.
Sal coal. Now to take back the treasure. What? This can't happen. A hero never falls. I must retreat. Yes, a tactical retreat, a noble retreat, so that the justiciar may live to save another day. I suppose the apex wasn't finished yet. And it seems that Virsahan, in his cowardly haste, neglected to look skyward. Was it an unfortunate accident? Or fate delivering his just desserts? He claimed to be Razdatan's savior, yet he sowed only discontent among its people. Perhaps some days, in a sunless Jal, will give him time to reflect upon the error of his ways. And now I finally recovered the perch of the apex. Thank you for coming this far with me, Arentel. The battle was hard fought, but we made it through. Virazan is the responsibility of the Radiant Host now, and now that I've done what I pledged to do, I must return home and bring the good tidings to my mother and father. Yet before doing so, there are many others I must thank. In the meantime, can I count on you to meet my family at Kuliolala for one final farewell? My parents will surely be glad to see you again. Oh, I could have spoken the radar. Didn't expect to see you in Tuyoral again so soon. It is Tepike well? She really did it. And the man who stole our sacred treasure will answer for his deeds. Mother, it's good to see you. I'm sure Arentel has already told you what happened. I couldn't have retrieved our treasure without him. So we've heard, yet Arentel also told us your wits and bravery were essential in your success. On behalf of our whole village, I thank you for guiding Tepike in her quest, Arentel. Now the perch of the apex must be returned and put under careful guard once again. The story of the Turalvidral's demise proves that we are not meant to wield its power as our own. I'm sorry, Father, but I disagree. Once I returned to the village, I want to tell everyone what happened in Thavnir. They need to know what the treasure is capable of, or else we risk forgetting once again. I won't deny that the Apex's power is dangerous. I saw with my own eyes what happens when it's wielded with abandon. And during the course of our search, I also saw potential. If we fully understood how it worked, we could use it without risk to ourselves or other people. We could turn something we once feared to our advantage, instead of letting it become obscured in legend. I can see the reason in that. We must ever be ready for danger, even in times of peace. Should our safety be threatened, the treasure may grant us a means to protect ourselves. But can we be trusted to use it responsibly? Great power begets Great power breeds great desire. Someone with the same ambition as Virzahan may arise again, perhaps from among our own. I dare say that once I've regaled them with the rise and fall of the Justiciar, they'll think twice before following in his misguided footsteps. As our forebears relied on the legend of the Tural Vidral's fate to forbid the treasure's use, we can rely on the story of Virzahan's fate to urge caution, and this time we have someone who lived through it to tell the tale. Of course, if I'm going to be guiding people in safe use of potentially dangerous treasure, I see no choice but to inherit my father's position as its guardian. Some may raise their eyebrows at the prospect of a loose-lipped Tepike serving as a perch of the Apex's protector, but I've grown from my mistakes. And who better to tell the tale of Virzahan and Tepike's failures? Your only mistake was trusting in Virzahan, the same as I and many others, but unlike him, you have the willpower to overcome your own failings. Over the course of your long and arduous journey, you gained a wealth of experiences, and your efforts have finally been rewarded. You took responsibility for your actions, and by so doing, proved your conviction to our people. They shall listen to this proposition with open minds, I am certain. Now we must say farewell. As much as it pains me to do so, I owe you a debt I could never hope to repay. Once I return to the village, I'll do my utmost to protect the treasure we worked so hard to retrieve. Until next we meet, may fortune smile upon you. All that leaves is the mastermind. I lied! What's this quest? Arndel, so good to see you. I was hoping you would pay us a visit. The Landsguard received word from the various nations you visited in your search for the treasures and requested that we inform you of the latest tidings. They also send their earnest gratitude for your efforts. It seems each of the 5 criminals has been brought into custody, although some had to be tracked down after you trounced them. They now await the judgment of the governments they wrong. Hog. I thought all was well until I overheard some customers saying that the Passage of the Unbound had new leaders. The shop was so busy that I couldn't find a chance to speak with them before they left, but I felt compelled to report what I heard through the Landsguard. It was a sobering reminder that as long as their leader, Apiahi, is free, she can rebuild and scheme again. You must have learned about the organization's workings during your search. Do you remember anything that might help us find what she's up to? Their funds were coming from Virazahan. Or they now. The Lands Guard dug up some information that might be related. One of those apprehended said the passengers of the Unbound received their funds from a shady mercantile outfit located in Ul'dah. If Abayahi still has monetary means, it wouldn't take much to recruit new leaders for new schemes. Evil deeds come all too cheap. I have an idea. If Abayahi really is recruiting new members, we could feign interest in her cause to get close to her. You might be onto something. We even know a man she's never had the pleasure of meeting, our intel. This is true. I know we're asking a lot from you, but any information you extract from Abayahi and her new cohorts could prevent further incidents. What do you say? I can do that. We're very grateful. Small warning, however. We know 5 treasures are stolen, but there could be more. Whatever you do, don't treat Abayahi lightly. I suggest finding out what power she has at her disposal and what her goals are before making your move. Which reminds me, those you aided are most eager to see Abayahi apprehended. We'll tell them you're hot on her trail. For now, why don't you travel to Ul'dah and ask around? Perhaps our quarry has already tried to recruit the disillusioned into her ranks. Hang on, allow me to change into a more fitting job. If only. Red mage. Yep, red mage. Actually, even better. Nope, shit, creeper. There have been slight changes to my Reaper Glamour. It is now more gray because of this hat. This fucking hat I can't dye, but I like a lot. Yes, I'm a villain. A villain looking to do evil deeds for evil reasons. I would see, honestly, a goldsmith may fit better. I'm a monetarist. Down with these Sultana. Villains who wish to topple the nations of the world. I'm afraid I haven't heard of such a group, but there are no shortage of complaints about the Sultanate. Most common are gripes about market fees. You hear the merchants tell it. Every one of them is a single bad bargain away from an empty coin purse. I can't say that they'd go so far as treason, though. If such an organization does exist, then their leader must bear a deep grudge indeed. Evil Wizard. Solid fucking name. What a legend. If only I was him, it'd be so fitting for this quest. I don't know the name Abayahi, but I do know of a strange man. Each day he stands aloof, staring at passerby with these dead eyes. Last I saw him, he was near the market booth. Oh, it makes my stomach churn just to imagine he might still be there. A man? I'll guess. Long time no see. Shifty-eyed blokes, more shifty than usual, you mean? Well, just so happens a strange man tried to strike up a conversation with me not too long ago. Said he liked how eagerly I gave those bastards in the brass blades a piece of my mind. He invited me to a gathering of people who sought true freedom, as he put it. I didn't like the smell of it, hence he found me here. Seems this man has been recruiting disgruntled citizens for unknown purposes. Perhaps you can get his attention by showing how angry you are near the market boards. Rage. Ooh, sure.
You there, mind let me bend your ear? I sense in you a kindred spirit, one who's tired of being trampled on by the high and mighty. I think there's a place for you in our organization, the Passage of the Unbound. You might have heard tell of the mysterious artifacts being used to incite unrest across the world. That was our doing. The oppressed finally striking back at the oppressors to win back the freedom they took from us. But we mean to aim even higher, and for that we need more good men and women to lead us, men like you. Down with the oppressors. Yeah, I like your gusto. Mayhap you have what it takes. Mayhap you don't. Either way, you'll have to pass the audition first. You want a seat at the table, prove you're worth your while. One of our own is standing by at the Gold Court. Show him this handbill and he'll lead you to where you need to go. I just realized my hair clips through the collar. This is very upsetting. I just need to get this glamour in a good spot for when we get to Evercold. I will probably be changing the chess piece. It's hard finding, like, asymmetric chess pieces that fit the kind of vibe I want, you know? What do you want? So you wish to lead others upon the passage, eh? You're welcome to try. A fair warning, this may be the hardest trial you've ever had to endure. Are your loins properly girded? Am I gonna jaywalk? That enthusiasm will take you far. Now then, follow me. Oh, we're gonna jaywalk. Let's fucking go. No, my hubris. No, I'm being fucking punished. No. Come on, man. Come on. This is what I get. The audition will be held in this room. Even those with the blackest hearts have balked at what we put our potential leaders through, so I'll be listening to your progress with great interest. Gonna make you read fan fiction. Enter. You're just reusing the cell from the Reaper's Guild. I chose very correctly. Can you hear it? The cry of a child too young to know fear. Can you see it? A blackbird in flight, its wings staining the azure skies. Can you feel it? The shape of the world as it should be, molded by hands free of fetters. The passage to a new morrow lies before you. The passage of the unbound. I am equally confused. And with that, let us begin the audition for a new round of leaders. May the selection committee please take their seats. Is this a fucking game show? Yo, when are we getting that painting? You look disappointed somehow. I understand you expected to meet our founder. My apologies, but you'll need to prove yourself ere you are granted such an audience. Now, tell us your name. What am I telling them? Fuck it. Say my true name. Fuck it. I want them to be completely clueless. I think that would be endlessly entertaining. Arentel. The Arentel?
you would play at being one of the realm's most beloved heroes. Take this at honest criticism. Your capacity for deception is hardly equal to two Samidares. So I suggest a more humble alter ego. On to the next question. Why do you wish to join us? I want to change the world. If you truly desired that, you would have done something noteworthy by now. We would be ill-advised to recommend a novice for a position of leadership. Enough about your ambitions. What can you do? I mean, I've killed gods. Is that an option? I'm a devil at Doman Mahjong. No one can craft and gather like me. I can take on anything, or anyone, or anything in a fight. I'm a devil at Doman Mahjong. I've played one game and I threw it to get out of it faster. A man after my own heart. Doman Mahjong is a game of prudent foresight, deceptive tactics, and bold attacks. Any leader of ours might be as feared at the gaming table as they are away of it. That's enough questions for now, methinks. Let's see if this one has the guts to stand against an entire nation. Are they gonna ask me to fucking execute a man? Holy shit! This traitorous cur sold us out to our enemies. Chop off his head for us, will you? Oh shit. This is getting real. Oh, what's wrong? Having second thoughts? Take the weapon in hand. They're gonna give me a way to, like, scam it. Oh my, look at those eyes. A killer's eyes. Well, I'm convinced. You can put that down now. That's all. This is all but a ruse, you see. You played the traitor most convincingly, my boy, and now you may leave. Let's see. Oh yes, your final task. Strike a pose that captures your essence. Go. Capture your beauty. Capture your... Do a little dance. That's okay, go. Oh my, such confidence, such grace. They quite literally emanate from you. I believe we're ready to make our decision. You are singular among the other applicants. We can confidently say you've passed the first audition. The first audition? Even hard-billed Chateaufoot nearly cracked under the pressure of our inquiries, but you remained composed throughout. Congratulations on your impressive feat. Our agent awaits without to guide you on to the next step. Quite the selection of candidates this time, eh? If you feel you've pulled the wool over our eyes, good. That just shows your capacity for villainy. Be proud of it. I can see in your eyes that you've been through more than I can imagine. Hold on to your anger and use it to bring the tyrannical rulers down to earth. Wait, those are chairs. Interesting. Be unable to return. Okay, hang on. Emotes. I can spell, it's fine. No, that's not it. I have it. Is it? Here it is. I'm not convinced. Nope. Somewhere. Hang on, hang on. We're getting closer. I can feel it. Oh, hang on. Better yet. Hang on. I need you to turn around, please. Turn around. Nope. Nope. Hang on. I have a better idea. Will this actually be the thumbnail? Probably not. I already have an idea of what I want the thumbnail to be. Nope. Hang on. I know what I'm doing. Oh, you're joking. Shrug. Shrug. And then I need you to... No, hang on, not yet. No. Away. Go away. Maybe I should add some extra lighting. Oh my god, that's fucking too much, actually. I just want it to be a little thinner. Yeah, it has to be there. That'll do. The actual thumbnail that I intend to do is going to be just a shot of Jibraktai? I'm probably misrecalling the name. And hopefully, like, at least most of the quest NPCs will be there, because obviously they're gonna go back there to, like, you can talk to them after the fact, and oh, here's a follow-up. You thought we'd welcome you into the fold after a single audition? I'll have you know our standards are higher than that. By the way, if you had failed back there, I'd be guiding you to combat training right now. You can never have too much fodder for the cause, after all. Not many have been where you're going. But don't celebrate just yet, the hardest part is still to come. Wait. Oh, I wonder what the reward's gonna be. You must endure one final test, and seeing how important it is, our founder will be conducting it herself. She was here a moment ago, but something compelled her to leave for the Sigoli Desert. Anyway, always has she followed the slightest whim. Show some initiative and find her among those massive dunes. Don't be intimidated if you're truly meant to lead us. Fate arranged this meeting long ago. I don't know why she went to the Sigoli Desert, but such is the way with her. If you are to undertake the test, you must seek her out. Oh, she's got a little pet, Fungar. Adorable. I am endlessly curious what the twist is going to be. Why is she doing this? Why did she steal my astrologian gland? Oh, she has her own. Stop. Shake. Spin. Now come. Good boy, good boy. So her totem just lets her summon worms? It works as well as I remembered. No beast is too great for my artifact's influence. What are you doing here? Do you fancy strolls amongst nondescript sand dunes? Or is this not a chance encounter? Is that so? My underlings see potential in you. Ah. Well then, let us proceed straight to introductions. Remember my name. The Architect of the Passage. Fucking striking the dojo pose. That's, Ah, fuck, who does that? Is that... it's not Polnareff. Is that... I think that, the guy with Heaven's Door, Heaven's Gate. If I forget his name. Can I get that as an emote, please? If you wish to be one of my chosen leaders, there is but one requirement: boundless charisma. Extraordinary strength and unparalleled intellect mean nothing if you lack charm. No one will follow a boar. Yet, when spoken with the right tenor, even wicked words can resonate with small folk and rouse them to action. They'll gladly throw themselves into the thick of battle for a cause they believe in, our cause. I did well in forming my first cadre of leaders. Their absolute devotion to indulging their own desires moved even me to tears. For all their faults, I still wholeheartedly believed that they were worthy of wielding the artifacts. Make me believe the same about you, and I shall gladly take you under my wing. Well, now is your chance to impress me. Tell me, what do you wish to gain by overthrowing the nations of the world? Hey! I think it is the same options you're given on the cart, plus ellipses. Power. Power is the one thing you do not seem to lack. Even so, your ambition drives you to even greater heights. Such a trait is crucial for one who would embrace wickedness. As for me, I only wish one thing: freedom. My village prospered amid nature unrestrained. While those in it were bound by the rules of society, our roles were determined at birth. Some would hunt, some would weave, but none were allowed to follow their hearts. Obedience meant a life without hardship, yes, but I couldn't suffer the tasks I was burdened with. So in defiance of these stifling customs, I went into the forest to hunt and returned to my village with prey mightier than any that had been caught before. For this, I was rewarded with exile. Yet my banishment was a blessing in disguise, for it helped me realize, that I could survive, I could thrive, unbound by rules. I also understood that many like-minded souls yet suffered under the subjugation of state. I resolved to become an example they could follow, to build the passage that would guide them to freedom. But enough about myself. There's something I wish to see. Follow me, but be wary of beasts that infest these sands. As I said, beasts around in these parts, I could kill them myself, but this presents an opportunity. Let us commence with the practical exam. Defeat these creatures by whatever means are at your disposal. That was a fine show of strength, fine enough to impress the meek into following you, I dare say. Very good, now follow me, we are not far now. Oh shit! Yeah, fuck it, I may as well. Cursed with fate content. I don't even have like blood gauge. Do I at least get my enhanced harp? I do. I'll take it. Oh no, you know what? I'm not sure this is a little better. I don't actually know if that's a DPS thing or not. Yeah, woohoo! Here we are. I've heard the stars are breathtaking from this vantage. In Ul'dah, they would charge you to view the sky from a place like this, as if there weren't enough hands grasping at our coin purses. Let us wait a while and see if the stories are true. Indeed, it is every bit as beautiful as they say. It was a worthwhile trek, wouldn't you agree? The light from those stars traveled all the way from the edge of the firmament, obstructed by nothing on its journey, free. I believe people have the same capacity, each of us a star unto ourselves, the light of our lives illuminating the farthest reaches of the heavens. Ah yes, you've passed, by the way. I knew I wanted you with me as soon after... I knew I wanted you with me soon after our first meeting. Friends and allies gravitate towards you, don't they? I can tell. This is true. And so, to honor your introduction into my inner circle, I shall award you with an artifact of power unequaled. Pog, pog. Is what I would like to say. Unfortunately, my stock of magical objects has been much depleted of late. Are you truly so crestfallen? I suppose I cannot fault you for staying true to your ambitions. The artifacts wielded by the previous cadre were purloined from across the continent of Dural, where they were enshrined as objects of great power. Alas, we had greater need of them. Mine, however, came into my possession long before that. After I was exiled, I traveled the world to seek a place that was truly free. Disillusioned by every nation I set foot in, I eventually crossed the ocean to Tural. In the remote outskirts of Shak Tural, I came across ancient and forgotten ruins, and within I encountered the spirit of a Yuakhui who called himself the Wise One. I asked the Wise One where I might find freedom, and he told me this story. When I yet lived, my people ventured into Shak Tural, but before we could settle here, a terrible sickness struck, and one by one many lost their lives. I sought a way to conquer this affliction, crafting an instrument that could harness the powers of mighty beasts. Thus was the first treasure craft created. Alas, I was too late to save my brethren, yet I knew I could save others from our fate, and so I traveled across the land, bestowing the treasures upon struggling tribes. I wish to create a place where people bereft of a home can live as they wish. Such a treasure could help me realize this dream. Your conviction is plain to see, that is true. 5 treasures have I bequeathed, but there is one which remains sealed away, its power far too dangerous. My conviction means I can wield it responsibly. I beg you, bestow the treasure upon me. My words must dissuade him, because the spirit's final act was to honor me with the relic before disappearing. I will use the power entrusted to me to shatter the rules that stifle us. That is why I created the Passage of the Unbound. And now, you are one of its leaders. Stand by my side, and together we shall release the people of the world from their chains. Please tell me I get that emo. That's why it's like a mystery box. I beg you. I need it. Desperately. Give me my fucking JoJo pose. Hang on. JoJo, I know, I one of them, what? It's got elements of the Joseph pose. Wait, is it the Joestar pose? Or is it the Dio pose? Wait, I need to see it again. God damn it. I did not initially intend to spend so much time in these wastes. Do ensure you mastered that pose I showed you. Although I've only, recently invented it, I expect every member to be cool striking at a moment's notice. With that, I cordially welcome you to the Passage of the Unbound. Let's fucking go! Pose of the Unbound. Okay, it's not the Joseph pose. It's not the Dio pose either, though. Obviously, I swear to fuck, I've seen. Okay, it's a little similar to this. I know that I've seen this pose in JoJo's. No, why'd you stop doing it, motherfucker? I've seen this before. Okay, I hear you, I understand, I'm sorry, I'll focus again. I'm on borrowed time, I know. Now that the night sky has energized us, it is time to take action. Our goal is no less than to see every nation in the world crumble, yet we must start somewhere. I was struck by how much had changed during my most recent visit to Tural, when I gathered the first group of my chosen leaders. At the time I encountered the Wise One, no ruler had united the continent under one banner. Uncertainty was in the air, but so was the scent of freedom. I had never seen a place quite so like it. So much did it intrigue me, in fact, that I adopted a Shantoa name for myself. Yet now that same freedom that I found so appalling is bound by the restrictions of state, and each day that passes, these binds grow tighter. That is why our first course of action shall be to return to Tural, to what it once was, to liberate it from the tyranny of Tuliolal. While my previous leaders were avatars of self-indulgence, they never quite grasped the concept of overthrowing a nation. It falls to us to set a precedent for future leaders to follow. Go to Tural and get the lay of the land. Venture to in Shaloni and rendezvous with my enforcers at the local tavern. You may await further orders there. Apiahi's scheme has been laid bare. You should bring this information to Ral Mayun and to Yolal. I can do it for free. There we go. I am so disappointed. I was not. Actually, was I? I may have been given a held version of that. Oh, that's the wrong button. Nope, that's also the wrong button. Is this one? Nope. Oh, it's this one. I don't have a combo for it. No, it didn't give me a permanent one. I'm so fucking sad. Oh well. We're streaming on borrowed time. I must be swift. Arndel, you returned. Were you able to track down Apiahi? That I was. I joined their organization. I see. Her methods for testing the mettle of her would-be leaders are as unique as the candidates themselves. Yet learning that her next target is Tuliolal only makes the sinking feeling in my stomach worse. This revelation doesn't come as a complete surprise, you see. We've heard whispers of a plot against the city, and have been aiding the Landsguard with investigating leads. While you were abroad, some familiar faces showed up to lend a hand. Oh, speak of the Vidral. Oh, hang on. I got a good feeling about this. I hope I got that. When Barukivu sent word you went to pursue Apiahi, we were eager to join the hunt. Yet right as we were arranging a ship to cross the ocean, we spied a suspicious group disembarking at the port and decided we might better aid you by tracking their movements. They claimed to be looking for work and obtained permission to travel to Shaloni. Yet upon arriving, they went to work of a different sort, asking anyone they could find about Tuliolal and the inner workings of its government and defenses. When not bothering the people of Shaloni, they loaf about, and the master of the tavern there said the group spent long hours talking to other patrons, rarely ordering a thing and going on about some plan. Clearly, they are the enforcers Apiahi mentioned. We need to find out what they're planning and how Apiahi's treasure fits into the picture. Then we can figure out how to stop them. That was not the button I wanted to push. Wow. Let's split up. If these enforcers are as talkative as they seem, I'm sure it won't be hard to eavesdrop. I did it again. Let me help too. I have an idea that might make things easier. But it requires our intel to aid us. I hope you can oblige. Then it's settled. Lashkana, Tepike, and I will work to uncover the nature of Apiahi's treasure. It just tames animals. These link pearls should make it easier to communicate. I bought them from a foreign sailor. I knew they'd come in handy sooner or later. Another pearl for my horns. Let's fucking go. Fucking... When every time I nod, I needed to play a fucking maraca sound. Alright, once we've discovered something, we'll meet you at the Aetheryte Plaza in that place. I refuse. You cannot make me. Now then, follow me and I'll tell you about this idea of mine. What clever plan does she have in store? I have something that will make our job a lot easier. The Dreamweave Cocoon. The village elder understood how much it means to me to bring the unbound to justice for their crimes, and entrusted me to do so once and for all. You've met this Apiahi in the flesh, yes? That means you can use the cocoon to imitate her. It can do that while I was ready to use stealth and deception, but this will make getting the information we need much easier. I think exactly, but it will all be for nothing if Apiahi reaches them before we do. So let's make our way to at once. No, there's no time. I say as it's actively crashing. Fuck me. No! Well, I took a peek inside and saw a few rough-looking types who didn't sound Turali gathered around one of the tables. Doubtless there are targets. There's no one fitting Abiyahi's description, so she probably hasn't arrived yet. This is our chance. We can hear everything from out here, so we'll keep watch in case Abiyahi makes an appearance. If she does, we'll call you on Link Pearl. Right, Arentel, take the Dreamweave Cocoon in hand, and in your mind's eye envision that wicked woman. Yes, I am aware of how this works. I have done it before. We'll stand lookout here so you can focus on doing your best impression of a villain. It is a quest progression step. What do you mean? Oh no, that's a new quest. Oh, I could have just. Oh yeah. Oh, boss, wait! You told us not to trust anyone, not even yourself. If you are who I think you are, then do the pose. We've all got sore arms from practicing so much. No one but you could strike a pose half as inspiring. We've been waiting, boss. Boss. Now that you're here, that means it's time to mobilize, right? You remember what the plan is, right? Of course, boss. We each memorized a different part to make sure we don't forget it. We'll launch our attack from the gates of Tuliolal. Swirling barrels will blow it to bits in a fantastic explosion. And Tree's concoction will give us the strength to crush the Landsguard like ants. That A simple plan for simple villains, don't you think? Keep pressing them for information, Arentel. And how will my artifact aid you? Well, what will you be having? Excuse me, we're in the middle of something. Yeah, mind your business. We'll be moving along, so stop trying to bleed us for every coin we have. Arentel, we see the real Apiahi approaching. Oh no. We have to buy time. Keep the henchmen talking. You there, excuse me, I wouldn't go in there. The drinks are more water than spirit. Is that so? Well, good thing I'm not thirsty. The food, there's no food either. They've sold every last dish. What? They have the gall to remain open? Reed, run amok indeed. Luckily, I wasn't planning on ordering anything. I'd rather die than become a paying customer. Have you no shame? There was something else I didn't think there was. You were supposed to shore up our numbers, right? You said the artifact of yours would give us an army. Well, did it? Arentel, get out of there. She's coming in. We can do the fucking Spider-Man pose. Oh, you're already here. You move quickly. Well, that means we can get started all the sooner. Once Tulial succumbs to our wrath, together we shall celebrate the return of true liberty to Tural. Now, see to your preparations and then join us upstairs. We strike when I give the order. She's even more devious than I imagined. I can scarcely wait to see her in shackles, but I know a hasty misstep can quickly lead to ruin. That was close. I didn't know what would have happened if we were found out. Couldn't hear what you were saying while we were trying to distract Apiahi. Did you get anything we can use? That's great. Tento and the others have just arrived themselves. Let's go meet them. While we are somewhat unfamiliar with the world outside Shak Taral, we were able to gather some information which should be of use. I heard you transformed into Abiyahi herself. The very powers of the treasures never cease to amaze me. I wonder how their search went. The cocoon is safe with me. I heard you ran into Abiyahi at the tavern. Tell us everything that happened. I see. Your plan is to strike at Tuliolala from the Shaloni side. Then we can focus our defenses there. You said her minions spoke of an army being summoned by her treasure. That matches with the story we heard. It was told to us by one of the Vipers. We hoped their expertise in tracking deadly beasts such as the Taral, the very source of our treasure's powers, might provide insight on the capabilities of hers. Apparently, they received reports that creatures across Taral were falling under the thrall of a Shantoa woman. Even the most feral of beasts obeyed her like a docile lamb. I saw Abiyahi command a massive worm. Well, we now know that what our enemy is capable of. I've heard that some animals hunt by hypnotizing their prey with sound, smell, or even magical energy. Perhaps the Taral whose essence lies in her treasure was one of those, but it's difficult to say which. Even so, we know Abiyahi's plan and the threat we face. We can prepare for whatever she might throw at us. We'll cut off her advance at Zorgord around us. It'll take everything we have to drive her back, but if we fight as one, neither her nor her beasts will take a single step into Tuliolala. I'll stay here for a while and keep an eye on things. If Abiyahi makes a move, I'll contact you at once. Can you tell Ral Mayun what we've learned? I'm curious. No, there's no time. Focus. Oh, they are. I have preparations of my own to make on the way here, hence my delay. Return here when you've seen to yours. You are our new leader. Mustn't have been easy to pass Abiyahi's tests. If you have her respect, you have ours. She's bringing an army of beasts to our doors. They're sailed on to prepare. If the treasure can bend ferocious beasts to its will, we must consider the possibility it can be used on people, too. I'll bring this information to the Land's Guard at once. They may begin readying the city's defenses. I know neither you nor they will let a single citizen come to harm. This is it, our intel. With any luck, Abiyahi and her cronies will soon be languishing in cells. I wonder what song that is. You see, Tentoa was You said Tentoa was keeping watch in right? I suppose no news is good news. Oh no, it's news. Abiyahi and the minions are preparing to depart. It's time. Everyone, we make our stand before the gates of Tuliolala. And here I was hoping that Abiyahi would turn herself in. Well, I suppose she'll just have to be brought in by force. She might have that treasure, but she doesn't have our allies, and she certainly doesn't have you. Today we stop the Unbound, and tomorrow we'll welcome a dawn into Yolal free of their shadow. Welcome. If there are any details you'd like to confirm with your plans, sure as you can. Oh. How are things? Abiyahi intends to attack Yolal, and thanks to you, we can prepare for her assault. With not only her enforcers, but now an army of beasts under her command, the fighting will be fierce. Thankfully, the Landsguard have pledged their help. Please strike back together and drive the passengers unbound from our home. Not busy with the power, goes on, I can very red, that's already have, let's fucking go, let's fucking go, gotta move. Oh. My bow will aim true, I promise. If our guess about the treasure's power is correct, this will not be an easy fight. I saw the Unbound leave, they should be here any moment. I can't fight, but I have medicine at the ready. I'll help however I can. Although these circumstances brought us together were less than fortunate, I'm confident that in the end we'll be stronger for them. We won't allow the passage of the Unbound to wreak havoc on Tuyolal. Today, Abiyahi and her ilk answer for their crimes. Certain points, so and so on, checkpoint announcement, let's go. They're here. We knew you were coming up, Yahoo. You and your gang of thugs won't be going any further. So, you've chosen to join the other sheep, have you? How disappointing. I offered you so much more than the life of a lapdog. Never intended to fight by your side. Of course you would say that. You are Eorzea's savior, after all. I knew it from the moment I saw you, and I suppose now you're asking yourself why I was so forthcoming with my plans. I wanted you to see what we fight for, to realize the beauty of true freedom, and devote yourself to the pursuit of it as our ally. Alas. Our allies only follow you because the treasure has them in its thrall. No one would willingly follow such a reckless leader. Interesting. You think I have the power to command others against their will? Well, don't you? Oh, you are far more foolish than I believed. I would never rob anyone of their freedom. She's gone. Not gone. Here. Beast approach from the alone side. But how? We commit too heavily to the side. Now she strikes at a blind spot. We must open the gate. No, it's some delusions. They're not real. God. Okay. The path to New Tomorrow lies ever before us. We need only be brave enough to walk it. Leave this lot to us. You tend to the others. And I suppose it's possible it's a Twitch thing. I should at least attempt a stream on YouTube. Oh no, they're real. I'm wrong. take care of these beasts before going after Apiaga. No, it's not a Twitch thing because it actually is my voice How dare you? I was getting a bad row too. I hate it. Let me have my weapon. Slot onto you, I suppose I wouldn't want you to fall too I think they're illusions. I do not think they're real. I mean, what are you gonna summon? want to get behind this? Okay. No, what do you mean they didn't get the funny, shield? I remember when the Crest of Time Returned was so comically overpowered. I was there on Tuesday, or on Wednesday. You could literally roll out to Must you insist on being a thorn in my side? Very well, then I shall plant the banner of evil upon the corpse of Eorzea's hero, and the meek shall flock to me. Make my fervent desire manifest. Grant me the power to seize undying freedom. not on! Is fog. Legend. Oh shit. No, the mushroom friend is gone. It seems I must admit defeat. Yet know this, I do not believe the ideals of which I fought were misguided. I mean, on a basic level, I kind of agree. Think back upon the leaders who came before you, those 5 self-serving souls who dared to live as they pleased. Yeah, but like at the expense of like everyone around them. Like, anarchy's cool and all until you're harming people for your own desires. Like, fuck off. Each one the perfect image of liberty, yeah. Yet ultimate perfection cannot be achieved without ultimate power. That is why we fought, why we became villains, to tear down the world's nations and their stifling rules so that the voiceless may speak again. What made you feel this way? Dawntrail has told you already, surely. Yet the exile that emboldened my hatred of meaningless restrictions also led to my awakening. I couldn't have known true freedom without it. And as I traveled the world, I noticed the same thing everywhere I went, that the many were bound by the few. In Gridania, citizens are discouraged from joining hands with their neighbors. In Ul'dah, merchants craft laws to exert their control over others. Even in Limsa Lominsa, once lawless pirates are made to bow to the state. Need I say more? The countless such guardians were tricked into sacrificing themselves, and their church fanned the flames of war. The people of the East, whose entire lives are determined by outdated customs and mores. I had to go west to find what I sought. Here in Tural, I lived a life unbound. Or so I thought. After a terrible tragedy, I was forced to find a new home once again. Terrible? What happened? I can scarcely say it. I was asked to pay for my lodgings. Pay? You mean you hadn't been paying all along? Why should I? Why should I have to trade coin for a roof over my head? In my village, charging for something so essential was unthinkable, so long as one followed the rules, that is. The first time since my exile, I questioned my path. I nigh convinced myself that taking care of my drunken sisters night after night wasn't so bad after all. Where did you live again? No, that doesn't matter. Surely if you can accept trading labor for housing, you can understand the reasons behind trading coin for it. No, money is just another rule that's used to control us, a rule that I won't accept. I was forced to live on the streets. In my tent I plotted. The rebellion will start with me and end with the authority of every nation in tatters. Yet one day, after long hours of sowing discontent, I returned to find my tent gone. In its place, a sign that read "No vagrancy." The last thing you owned was gone in an instant. That can't have been easy. I can understand your perspective, Apiahi, but a world where everyone did what they pleased would soon fall to chaos. Laws are the only things which keep us from that. And I know firsthand what it's like to be bound by old rules whose purposes are sometimes baffling. But you don't have to follow them blindly. If you're dissatisfied, you can work to change them. What you speak of, Apiahi, is not freedom, it is self-indulgence. So you're saying, if I change the law, I can do whatever I please. No. Not a word got through to her. Talking anymore would just be a waste of breath. It's time to put her in chains. This is all you're doing, isn't it? It's time you joined the rest of your minions. I won't resist, but this isn't over. Those who share my vision will hear of this injustice, and they will carry on my legacy. The passage of the Unbound shall remain open forevermore. I need you to go away now. Thank you. Finally, the Unbound are in chains. Do you think Itoko would be proud of us? Of me? Judging by how her force was mostly composed of wild beasts, I take it Apiahi couldn't send many of her henchmen to Tural. Perhaps Virzon's resources have finally run dry. Freedom that harms others is no freedom at all. Living in a society has its challenges, but it allows us to support each other as a group. I knew anyone who admired Ilitri would have twisted morals, but even so, I'm shocked by the depth of Apiahi's depravity. Your bravery was inspiring, everyone. Apiahi is in the custody of the Landsguard, and her treasury is destroyed. Without their leader and secret weapon, the Unbound may well truly be finished. We should return to Jibalia of Tai and let Raal Mun know our victory here. It's so funny seeing my connection bar red, but then Twitch is like, "Oh, this is fine." I mean, really okay. You're green. You're in the clear, dog. Oh, now you go green. Fuck. It'll stay good for like another 35 seconds. Well, I mean, we're almost done. And you had a pretty good time, too, honestly. What? Oh, yeah, no, there it goes. I'm still gonna get more done today than I was expecting to, so like, I really can't complain. The Yakui will have to wait, but that's fine, I guess. Or I can try and muscle through my shitty bitrate. Again, it's like, so long as it's not hitting 0, like, the VOD is largely unaffected, and the VOD is like 99% of what I actually care about. Like, in all truthful honesty, I basically just use Twitch as like a recording medium. Like an interim cloud storage for my stream. But we let their fucking end deal with their system running non-stop for fucking 30 hours to fucking do the upload. I heard all about your battle with the passage of the Unbound. Leave it to you all to not only capture their leader, but do so without anyone, including you all, coming to harm. By the way, mages from the Wing of Protection inspected the remains of the beasts you fought. Their discoveries were surprising, to say the least. They weren't actually individual organisms, you see, but a collection of minute fungi that had taken the form of familiar creatures. The mages concluded that the Vitral sealed within the treasure was likely once a fungi itself. This explains the sightings of Abiyahi traveling with beasts of all sorts at her beck and call. She built her army by finding the fiercest creatures she could, and recreating them with the power of the treasure. But you stood against that army without a shade of fear in your eyes. As a token of gratitude, you're all welcome to tacos on the house whenever you're in town. Speaking of which, I hear Tantoa and the others will soon be returning to their collective villages. Goodbyes are always bittersweet, but I'm sure they'd love to speak with you one last time. I guess I'll reach that. Fuck it. Well, if it isn't my favorite customer, thanks to you, the world is free from the passage of the Unbound's villainy. If there's anything I can do for you, you need only say the word. I need like 5 more minutes. I'm sorry for implying I was gonna push it further, okay? Like, my bad. I take it back. I will not be doing that. Okay? 5 minutes. Thank you. The short time spent together with you has reminded me of Weislam and Zirig. I wonder how they fare. Perhaps I'll write them a letter and find out. It seems my parents fell in love with the tacos here while they awaited my return to Vadnir. I'm sure they'd be happy if I brought some home with me. I want to spend some time in Tuyural's markets before I return home. I've been thinking a spare pair of spectacles might be a prudent purchase. Intelligent. Wise. Every time I come to Cheval Yav Pai, I'm amazed by all the different kinds of people gathered around these tables. I wish there was a place like this in my village. Boy, do I have a surprise for you. Well, I mean, that's assuming you're from Memuk, which you might not be. Memuk's probably closer, though. I neglected to mention this earlier, but I was able to convince everyone back home to stop relying on the cradle. My sleepless days are over, but I've been busier than ever. I've looked to Ishgard's Knights for inspiration on how to build solidarity among the villagers who train together and take turns on watch, among other things. Lozenikli no longer needs to spend her days abed, and sometimes joins us in our drills. I've met her a new life for which to be the same about her. A new life for which we both owe you thanks, Arntel. We'll keep striving to follow the example you set for us. My people have accepted the fact that we cannot always rely upon the Heartsting, and even now trying to build our natural resistances to various toxins. It took some time to figure out the right amounts to use, and I admit there were some close calls, but luckily the Heartsting was at our disposal. Yet I believe that our strength lies in our ability to conquer hardships. I hope one day we can trust in our own abilities. That being said, it's been some time since I had a meal that wasn't laced with poison. I've forgotten how delicious food can be. During my time in Ishgard, I realized the cuisines of the world are varied as people. No doubt the prospect of discovering new delicacies adds excitement to our travels. The short time together with you has reminded me of Winslam and Zirig. I wonder how they fare. Perhaps I'll write them a letter and find out. The others will be glad to hear how he, the Dream Reaper Cocoon, was to our success. And though it seems that Yahi recognized you from the moment you met, it didn't make a difference, did it? It just reaffirms for me that you've more than earned your renown as a hero. I still aspire to become a hunter worthy of Itoka's legacy, and I know it will take a lot of time and a lot of hard work. For now, I'll focus on keeping my village safe. But I won't stop there. Keep your ears to the ground, Dawntrail, for someday you might hear tales of Kyuyaki, a hunter true. Everyone was so brave. My heart always starts pounding when the fighting begins, and I didn't need to worry. Since I'm here in Tuyalal, I'll visit the market before I return to my village. Oh, I almost forgot. Cooljaw sent me a letter. He said the authorities have taken his circumstances into account and decided to be merciful. He'll be released soon, and just as promised, my village will be the first place he visits. Everyone's looking forward to greeting him with open arms. If Kakurja agrees to be our protector, then we can come to Yulal more often. I think the origin of the treasures lies with the Yakui. Even with such dominating strength as they possess, they sought still more when their very stragglers at stake. The people were afraid of the apex, and so sealed it away within our treasure. But over time, the treasure became as feared as the piece within it. Thus, we never considered using it as a tool to aid us. I've been training hard and hope that someday I can help my people view the treasure from a new perspective. It might take a while, but we'll get there. I'm already stronger than last time we met, right? Yeah, you don't have to answer, but trust me when I tell you we won't take the easy road. Like Vera's on. Every bit of progress we will earn through hard work. On that note, as much as I'd like to stay, I suppose we all have homes waiting for us. Let's say our farewells to Chibu, Kibu, and Raw Marine. It seems like parent. Okay, I already read that. I'm glad you got to catch up with everyone. Shall we bring this party to a close then? Please give me a screenshot opportunity. Oh. Almost. Take it. That works. I like that. Pretty close to the exact screenshot I wanted, honestly. Oh shit, this one might be better. Be well, everyone. I'll bring Lo Zenekwe next time. I want her to meet the people who helped us. Stop by my village if you're ever in the region. I'll treat you to freshly hunted boar. Everyone get home safely. We'll meet again soon. I hope I was able to pay back the debt I owe you, if only a little. If you ever need help again, you know how to reach me. It was a long and trying road, but the treasures are finally back in the rightful places. In the passage of the Unbound, with no one to lead their meager members will fade into obscurity. I'm sure we'll hear no more of them again. Here's to peace in Tuliolal. Rules, basic social considerations, who needs them? Those pathetic bastards don't even see the yokes around their necks. Did you see how nobly Apiahi fought? As long as I can remember that sight, I'll never turn away from the path she showed us. It's up to us to continue what she started. We don't need those artifacts to bring down nations. We'll find a whole new kind of weapon. The passage of the Unbound shall remain ever open, and we'll be there to guide others upon it. There's more of you? Criminals, over here! Yeah? Oh the gods, run! We can't be caught here. I... Almost there. I know you've been hard at work helping to solve Terrell's problems, and we're grateful for it. You're welcome to relax here anytime you want. Well, there's my favorite customer, our things. With Happy Hour and the leaders of our organization fetters, it's safe to say the passengers inbound is finished. The world just got a little safer thanks to your efforts. Objects of critical power, yada 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 yada, move on. That's what's inbound. Lansgard told me why Happy Hour founder of everyone's organization, and what a story it is. A trivial, ridiculous story. Thankfully, without the treasure still alive on, the passage of the Unbound has no teeth. No doubt the authorities of the nation's Russell Star will root out the remaining members, though I expect the organization will fade into obscurity soon enough regardless. Or so I had thought, until more leaders gathered in this very place. Fortunately, they are apprehended almost immediately. Never again shall the abominable group trouble us. Never. Surely. I am excited for them to reappear. Anyway, what a mess the end of this stream has been. But I got more done than I was expecting. I am going to wrap it here, largely by force. I definitely, if, you know, I'm not doing it, don't worry. You can stop. I'd love to do the Yakui, but as my connection is actively hitting 0, I think it is best that I call it here. So, yeah, I hope I can get this figured out. Or that it just fixes itself, because come Evercold... Oh no, it's dead. You lying sack of shit. I don't have fucking 10 up right now.